When Sarah finally stepped out of the train at King's Cross, she felt a strange sense of relief. It wasn't happiness. It was more like the numb exhale of someone who had nothing left to hold on to. The divorce had drained her, emotionally, financially, spiritually. London was meant to be a fresh start, a place big enough for her to disappear and begin again. She found the listing for the room on an outdated website. It was oddly cheap, located in a quiet neighborhood in North London. The pictures looked a little old-fashioned. Heavy curtains, antique furniture. But it was clean, private, and, more importantly, available immediately. The landlady, Mrs. Whitlow, greeted her at the door. A small, pale woman in her late 60s with a delicate voice and hands that looked like they had once been elegant. She wore a thick wool cardigan despite the summer heat and had a smile that never quite reached her eyes. "You'll be upstairs. The last door on the left," she said. "Shared bathroom, no visitors, and please, no moving the furniture." That last part struck Sarah as strange, but she was too tired to argue. She just nodded. The room was smaller than she expected. The wallpaper was faded, the air slightly musty. There was a large wooden dresser, a narrow bed with a patchwork quilt, and a desk beneath the window. It didn't feel welcoming, but it was quiet. And for now, that was all she needed. Her first night passed without incident. The house was old, and it groaned like something alive, but nothing out of the ordinary happened. It was on the third night that Sarah woke up at 3:12 a.m. sharp, heart racing. She couldn't explain why. No sound had disturbed her. No nightmare clung to her thoughts. She just woke up, cold and tense, as if something had brushed against her in sleep. She turned on the bedside lamp. Everything looked exactly as it had been, except the dresser drawer was open. Just a crack. She was sure she hadn't opened it. Still, she closed it, shook off the unease, and told herself the old wooden drawers probably slid open on their own. Gravity. Warped wood. Nothing more. A week passed. Sarah got into a rhythm, job hunting during the day, reading in the evenings. But the room never quite felt like hers. She noticed little things. The mirror above the dresser would occasionally tilt ever so slightly. Her toothbrush would be wet when she hadn't used it. Her shoes were moved. Once, she woke up to find the window wide open, even though she always kept it locked. When she mentioned it casually to Mrs. Whitlow, the woman simply blinked slowly and said, "This house remembers its guests. That's all." Sarah wasn't sure what that meant, but she didn't press it. That night, curiosity got the better of her. She opened the dresser drawer fully, and tucked beneath an old lace scarf was a small, battered leather-bound notebook. A journal. It belonged to someone named Emily, a girl about her age. The entries were dated from 5 years ago. Sarah sat on the bed and read, unable to stop. March 3rd. The landlady's nice enough. A bit odd. Keeps talking about the rules like it's her religion. But I don't mind. The room's cheap and warm, and I need to save money before uni. Still, sometimes I feel like I'm not alone in here. Silly, right? March 10th. I keep waking up at exactly 3:12 a.m. I even set an alarm last night just to test it. But I woke up before it, like something snapped me out of sleep. I thought I saw something standing by the dresser, but when I turned on the lamp, there was nothing. I'm sure I'm just dreaming. March 17th. I found this notebook moved. I swear I left it in my bag, zipped up. And now it's open to a blank page. Someone or something is reading what I write. March 21st. I tried to leave today. Packed my things. But the key was missing from the inside of the lock. I know I had it. Mrs. Whitlow says I'm imagining things again. But I've never felt more awake. March 25th. If you're reading this, it's already watching you too. Sarah slammed the book shut, heart pounding. The room suddenly felt smaller, darker, colder. She wanted to throw the journal away. Burn it. Anything. But something in her gut told her she needed it. That night, at 3:12 a.m., she woke again. But this time, the light wouldn't turn on. She fumbled for her phone, but the screen was black. No power. Not even a battery symbol. Then the mirror creaked. A soft sound, like something heavy shifting behind it, and a reflection appeared, not of Sarah, but of someone else. A woman.
Crying.
Her mouth moving silently. Screaming, maybe. Sarah blinked, and the mirror was empty again. She didn't sleep for the rest of the night. In the morning, she confronted Mrs. Whitlow. There was another girl here, Sarah said. Emily. She wrote a journal. She said something is watching. Mrs. Whitlow stared at her for a long time, then turned away. Some people, she whispered, stay too long. Their memories become part of the walls. That's not an answer, Sarah snapped. What happened to her? The landlady's voice was like dust. Some people leave, even if their bodies don't. Sarah decided she had to get out. She packed her things, journal in her coat pocket. But the door to her room wouldn't open. The handle turned, the lock clicked, but it felt like the door was part of the wall now. As if it had grown roots. The window was jammed shut too.
Her phone was still dead.
No signal. No charger working. Panic surged through her, but then she remembered something. Emily's journal. Maybe there was a clue. She opened it again. The last page had changed. Where once there had been empty space, now there was a message in dark ink. The mirror isn't a reflection. It's a door. But it doesn't open for the living. Sarah stepped toward the mirror. Her own reflection looked wrong. Not quite her. Its movements were a half-second delayed. And the eyes, they didn't blink. She reached out and touched the glass. It was warm. Suddenly, the reflection smiled. Sarah did not. The glass began to ripple, like water disturbed by wind. And then something reached out. A hand. It looked like hers, but pale. Twisted. Fingernails cracked and yellowed. She tried to run, but her feet wouldn't move. The hand pressed against her chest. And then everything went black. When she woke, it was morning. The mirror was normal again. The door was open. Her phone was working. Everything looked fine. She left the house immediately. Never spoke to Mrs. Whitlow again. Moved to a friend's couch. Never looked back. A year later, Sarah was doing better. Working again. In therapy. She still had nightmares, but she managed. One night, cleaning out an old backpack, she found the journal. She hadn't realized she still had it. She opened it. A new entry had appeared. In handwriting that wasn't Emily's. Or hers. She left. But she took me with her. Sarah stared at the page. And in the mirror across the room, her reflection didn't blink.